Hey guys, it's Jen with Cards Zen by Jen. My name is Jennifer Blaszak. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Pennsylvania. If you need my assistance with any ordering or any projects that you're working on, feel free to reach out to me. Today I am doing another 5-minute Manic Monday card. This is going to be, I'm going to try to keep this a quick and simple one. Prom's just finished in our area and we are moving now on to graduation. So I have been asked to do a lot of graduation cards and I like to make a lot of custom cards. So I came up with kind of a quick and easy graduation card that I want to share with you because it is super simple and it's just super cute. And you can change out the colors to whatever you need it to be. But today we are going to be using the Wonderful Thoughts. I love this stamp set. This is a sentiment only stamp set. It has a lot of beautiful sentiments in here. These sentiments are just heartfelt sentiments, but we're going to be using the congratulations. I love the script on this. I love how it's written. It's just very simply elegant. But the sentiments that you see in here are just beautiful for all of your needs, and they really just encompasses so many occasions. So I love this stamp set. If you have been following me on Facebook and on cardszenbyjen.com, you will see that the summer stamping event is coming up on June 17th. It's not too late to register for this event. This is the stamp set that you will want. This is the only stamp set that really you're going to need to order to do that event. We are sending you 6 make and takes featuring 6 different suites in the new annual catalog. So we're going to give you all of the paper that you need for that. Everything's going to be cut for you. And then you're going to order this on your own or use whatever you have for your sentiments. But the rest of it's going to be provided for you. But this is a great way for you to check out the 6 different suites in the annual catalog and kind of get a feel as to whether you might want to be interested in ordering some more or whether it's something that you're going to pass up. But it's going to be a lot of fun. June 17th, registration goes until May 31st. We will send the card packets to your door. There's also prizes. You're also going to get a spool of ribbon and a packet of gems that you can use on your projects and for later. But be sure to go to, I'll put a link in the Facebook post, but be sure to go to cardszenbyjen.com. On the right hand side, you're going to see a link to register. So get that done before May 31st. You don't want to miss out on that. If you're busy on June 17th, no worries. We are going to have the Facebook Lives recorded for you. So that way you can go back into the Facebook group. You can watch how to put the cards together and do it on your own whenever you have time. It's all what works for you. But this is a wonderful stamp set. You're definitely going to want this. The other thing that we're going to be using today are pretty much dies. I'm actually using a retired die. This one is, I think, Stitch Shapes. This is retired, but this is one of those dies that I will never get rid of. I loved the Stitch Shapes on these, and these make the perfect hats for graduation. So we are also going to be using the dies in the beautiful balloon dies. We are not going to be using the stamp sets for this today, but we are going to be using the dies. I'm going to be using this long one right here, which will, if you cut the side of it, will give a fringed edge. But if not, it will just give a bunch of little slots on your paper. We are also going to be using this cute little tassel right here. So let's bring in our paper and start cutting. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. There we go. And as for paper, for my background today, my card base, I'm going to be using this Azure Afternoon. I always say this wrong. I feel like I'm always saying it wrong. Azure Afternoon. So we're going to cut this to be our card base. We're just going to do this standard. So we're going to cut this. This is 8.5 by 11. We're going to cut this down to 5.5. Set the other piece aside for another card. And there's your card base. Set that aside for a moment. Also going to be using Lemon Lime Twist. This is another new color. It is awesome. I love it. It's so bright and vibrant. I'm going to be cutting this to 2 1/4 wide. And then we are going to in height. We're gonna do this at 5 1/4. So 2 1/4, 5 1/4. Try to keep those measurements simple for you. All right, so we are gonna be using, I love this paper. I've used a lot of this Bright and Beautiful DSP. This is 6 by 6. It comes in a pretty large pack. The colors are gorgeous. This goes along with that beautiful balloons stamp set and bundle. I love this paper. So we're gonna be pulling out a couple of pieces of this paper. I wanna pull out the, if I can find it, here we go. So these stars, I love these stars for graduation. I do not know what it is about the stars that speak to me, but I just think they're really cute. So we're gonna cut that at 2 inches wide and 5 inches in height. Okay, there you go. The last thing that I am going to cut, actually not the last thing I'm going to cut. So part of that paper, that DSP, has this design on one side of it and has this lemon lime, I think this is the lemon lime twist on the other side. I want to cut this, I'm going to leave it at 6 inches, that's no big deal. But I'm going to cut the height of this to 3/4. I'm actually going to do just slightly under 3/4 of an inch, just slightly under 3/4 of an inch. There you go. There is that. Put these other papers aside. And I also want a piece of basic white. And this one I'm going to cut to 1 1/4 inches. And then for length, I'm gonna cut this to 4. I think that's what I did before. Yeah, 4. Okay. This is why you should write down your measurements. I was in a hurry today, did not write down my measurements. All right, I think we are done with our trimmer, so let's put that aside. The other pieces that I have are going to be just a scrap piece of basic black and a scrap piece of gold. You can use, I think this is actually like a bronze, but you can use whatever. I know Stampin' Up! Came out with a bunch of different, the golds, the bronze, the brushed bronze, whatever you have that is a scrap piece. We're going to be using this to make our tassel. So we all know we have 1,000 pieces of scrap paper around, of all different varieties. Just use it. Don't cut up a whole big piece of paper. Not necessary. All right, so let's make our hat first. So I'm gonna pull out my, let me see what size I used on this one. I'm gonna use this one. It is approximately, so if you don't have these stitched dies, if you don't have these stitched shaped dies, and you still want to make this, just cut a square to 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 out of the black. That's all you need to do. No big deal. That's all you need to do. So let's bring in my mini embossing machine. I love this thing. Sometimes I love this thing. Sometimes we have a love-hate relationship, and that's okay. So I'm gonna grab my piece of black. This only has like a 3-inch wide base to it, so you need to make sure that your scrap paper, whatever you're using, whatever you're cutting, is less than 3 inches. So I'm gonna do, okay. So we're gonna do that square first. Sorry, I'm jiggling you. I apologize. All right, so we have our basic black, our square. Set that aside. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this scrap piece and we are going to pull out I'm gonna pull out the tassel. I'm gonna pull out the tassel here. There we go. A lot of people, for this die set, they put the tassel underneath the balloon. I've never seen balloons like that. It's just kind of strange to me. I don't know. I think I'm just weird. But I definitely see this as a tassel for a graduation cap. So that's what I'm gonna do with it. I've heard people say that it reminds them of like jellyfish tentacles also. I'm not making any jellyfish anytime soon. I like to avoid them at all costs. But, all right, so let's get that. This is where that take your pick tool comes in handy to get those pieces out. Take out the extra pieces. I left a lot of them in there, didn't I? All right, there we go. We have that taken care of. Put my lid back on that before I stick myself. It's been known to happen. I have not yet had to go fetch a Band-Aid though while doing a video. I have seen it happen on a live. It's one of my worst fears, so let's not do that. All right, I'm gonna pull out this, I don't even know what to call this. It's gonna make a series of little cuts in your paper. So I'm gonna grab that white, what do I do with it? The white, goodness, getting my own hair all over the place. So I'm gonna grab this white piece here that we cut, and we're gonna go right down the middle with this. Let's bring in our base again. Try to get it as right down the middle as you can. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Remember, we are handcrafted. We are not factory made. Things are going to be off a little bit. It's okay. If they want perfect, they can pay $8 and get it factory made from China. All right, so there we go. Do you see how I really did not get that perfect, but that's okay. We're gonna fudge it. It's gonna be all right. So this makes a series of just slits in this paper. And if I would cut the bottom part of this off, then I could fray this, and this would be a cute little fray. But I'm not. I'm actually gonna end up weaving paper with this. So we're gonna leave it just the way that it is. Let's put this all aside and let's start putting our card together. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is take your card base, grab your bone folder, and we are going to fold that. We are going to bring in this lemon lime twist and our DSP. Now, when I did the original card design, I wanted this all lined up like that. Sometimes I have to get out of my own head because I have a hard time with things not being symmetrical. But then I accidentally touched my paper and things moved on me. And I decided that I like that better. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go a little topsy-turvy. I never do this. Oh my goodness, my old scrapbooking friends thought it was hilarious. Everything had to be symmetrical all the time. And that was just me. I'd have to force myself to do something that was asymmetrical. All right. So we're just applying a little bit of glue to the back. And topsy-turvy it is. I like that. I like that. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are only doing one piece of stamping on this card. So let's go ahead. We are going to take this lemon lime twist, this kind of has lighter and darker areas of it. We are going to use our black Memento ink. Grab a block here. Let's pick up our stamp. This does not have to be perfect. We are just going to come in here, trying not to get my head in the camera. There we go. Put my ink away. If you follow my videos, you know I'm notorious for getting ink everywhere. All right, so here's what we're gonna do with this. What do I do with my white piece of paper? All right, so this is, I got a piece of my own hair on here, I apologize. So I'm just gonna weave this. We are going to come in maybe about like, I don't know, about 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. We are going to go right in between. Remember when I said to do this just shy of 3/4 of an inch? This is why, because we're going to weave this through and we're going to just kind of bring it out. There we go. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can weave with paper, you can weave with ribbon, you can do whatever you would like to do. There we go. And that's how we're going to weave that. And then we're going to put this on the front of our card. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the top, glue to the bottom. We are going to put this down here like this. So I just put the glue at the top, glue at the bottom. It now goes on there. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip the excess of the rest of that paper because I want it to stick out there. Voila, get rid of that. There we go. For our hat, we are going to, I'm actually going to use a glue dot on this one. It's just easier, I think. All right, so I put a glue dot on the back and I'm going to put this way. So I want this to kind of come off. It needs to be in the center. There we go. And now let's grab our dimensionals. And the hat is going to go on with dimensionals. I want that to pop up a little bit. And what do I do with my dimensional backings? I throw them on my floor. This actually got me in trouble at the last stamping event that I went to because I kind of forgot where I was and was throwing all my backings on the floor. You could definitely see where I was sitting, but I had to clean them all up before I left. All right, there you go. What do you think? What do you think? Super quick, super easy, so versatile. You can change out any of these. I'll post some other pictures of using different papers, different colors, and just pick what you like, pick what you need. Again, if you do not have this stitched square to make this hat, just cut your basic black to 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 and you're going to get the same effect. You're just not going to have the stitching around the edge of it. So if you have a moment, stick with me for just a second. Let's bring in the annual catalog and I want to show you where to find this set that I used today. So this is the Bright and Beautiful. This is on page 14 and 15 of the annual catalog. This is the DSP. And then you're going to see this is the stamp set. And these are the dies that it comes with. So my dies, I like to use a piece of magnetic, they use them for HVAC, the vents. I just buy them at Lowe's or buy them at Home Depot. They're so cheap, they're so simple. They have white on one side of them. Oh, I apparently have a dimensional backing on one side of mine. And I just cut them down, and this is what I put my dies on. So I keep them in that packaging, but they're on this magnetic sheet. So here are the dies that come with this stamp set, this collection. I love this collection. This is beautiful. This has been great for birthdays, graduations, all kinds of celebrations. You can even use this for weddings. You can just glam this up and use it for weddings as well. So this is where you find this. If you have any questions, if you need a catalog, please reach out to me. I'm happy to send you a catalog. I am one of those people who have to have a catalog in my hands. I cannot shop online. I just recently did a Facebook party with a friend with Lemongrass Spa, and I had the hardest time like finding stuff to buy until the lady who was running it just sent me a catalog, and I got that catalog in my hands yesterday. I went through that catalog. Before you knew it, I was ordering $100 worth of stuff and loving every minute of it. But I'm just one of those people who just have to see it in the catalog. So if you need to get your hands on one of these catalogs, you just reach out to me, let me know. I'm happy to mail you one. There is no cost for me to do that to you. That is my pleasure. So once again, I will see you next Monday for another Manic Monday card. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope this helps with your card making needs for the upcoming graduation season. Until I see you next week, happy stamping.